Hey there. So this week we're going to talk about being nice. So do you find that do you consider yourself a nice or kind person? And now we're going to discover, are you really being nice or are you really being controlling? If that triggered you, stay tuned. If you start to feel a little bit, how dare you type of feeling, stay tuned. So here is the deal. Sometimes there is a misconception that niceness means not having conflict, staying away from conflict at all costs, making sure they're not upsetting other people. It's nice to not upset other people. And so, therefore, what we end up doing is withholding information or not giving the full story, or sometimes outright lying by saying yes when really what you want to say is no, and all of these things. And in the end, we find that really what you're doing is ended up being a little too controlling or manipulative by holding back this information. And here's the evidence of this. Well, here are some clues to know. Here's some questions to ask yourself is, do you often find yourself complaining that you're being taken advantage of? Do you find that you're doing more work than those around you, that you feel like you're contributing way more than everyone else? Do you feel like you're being taken advantage of? Now take a look at this scenario. And if that's the case, if you find yourself being taken advantage of from people in different phases of life by multiple people, then the question has to be, is it me or the rest of the world? If you're finding that you are the common denominator, that many different people that have many different personalities and know you in many different ways all are in one way or another taking advantage of you, the common denominator there, the only steady thing, the only thing that is in common with all of those relationships is you. And so taking a look at that and noticing, is it then the fault of the many or the one? And not fault, because I'm even sorry I said it, because it's not fault, but noticing who can take the action to change the dynamic. You are the most powerful person in that dynamic because you are just one person. You're not talking about changing the mentality of the many. You're talking about changing the mentality of just the one. The one happens to be you, but just the one, which is within your control and you are able to do, and is so much easier than trying to change the mentality of many. So taking a note. So the first question was, do you find that you're being taken advantage of? The second question is, do you find yourself in the mood of resentfulness? Do you feel resentful towards different people in your life? Often because you feel like you're being taken advantage of, or you're doing more and all those kinds of things. But just noticing that, how often do you find yourself in the mood of resentfulness? And then the third thing is, let's take a look at, do you often find that you either soften your language or purposefully leave out information? Do you purposefully not give the whole story or how you are feeling or how you actually feel? Are you being less than 100% radically honest? Because oftentimes when we're holding back that information, it is in the name of manipulating the feelings of others. They want to know who you are authentically. And it's the only way that people can learn what your boundaries are, or what you truly love and what you truly cherish. And what really irks you is if you're completely honest with them. And so here's what happens when you're catching yourself, when you find that you're holding back information, what you're actually doing is gaining control over the situation. Hear that again. Even when the missing information is your opinion or your thoughts and feelings about a specific thing. But when you're withholding information, that's a way of controlling the situation and taking control away from the other person. So, for example, if they're asking you to do a favor, right? They're asking you to do them a favor. And if you say yes, even though you know you don't have the bandwidth for it, it's not something you're good at, it's not something you know that, you don't want to do it, and it's because you have other things in your life or whatever that is. By withholding that information, you're taking away their control to find someone that would be excited and thrilled to help them out to do this favor. You're actually taking control away from the other person. And so now going back to the beginning of this conversation, is that nice? Is it nice to be anything less than truthful? Is it nice to control another person's decisions by withholding your own information and your own authenticity? Is it nice to continually put yourself in a situation where you're resentful towards others and they can feel it? If they say anything about it or not, they can still feel it. And that's not a great mood to be swimming in. Is it nice to continually put yourself in the situation where you are being taken advantage of and feel that lopsidedness in that relationship? So noticing, is it really nice, or is it taking control away from them or being controlling? This is the question of the week. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things. But do let me know, how is this landing with you? Do you have any follow-up questions? Talk to me about this. I know that this can be a really touchy subject. So let me know how it's going, and I will see you next week. Bye.